Yeah, hello and welcome to this video. Yeah, in this Blitz game, I was a little bit irritated by my screen setup, but I think it's fine. Roggenrola00, no, probably not doing this right. So symmetrical English. Black now has a choice there. E6, knight c6, g6, b6, d5. Knight c6, okay, go e3. And yeah, we get a line that I think, okay, now d6, was on the channel just like 2 days ago. This is not considered to be that great for black, as you can certainly imagine, like getting the knight pushed back cannot be ideal. So what I'm getting now is basically a Benoni, where I'm a tempo up. Knight a6, yeah, so I think I'm castling here. Sometimes a consideration if you want to do that. Okay, just normal development should be good. Focus on the e5 break potentially. Yeah, well, black's not really going to go b5 here, right? Let's think about this for a moment. a6, a4, b6. Yeah, well, he can probably push it through if he really wants to do it. It's not something that worries me all that much. So a6, a4, b6, something like that. I'm going to go a4. He should probably consider b6 now to stop me from playing a5. So he doesn't stop me. Okay, so I will do that. And now he has this slightly damaged pawn structure on the queen side. The question is how I want to set up on the queen side. I can play something like rook a3, b3, pile up on that a pawn, or I can simply ignore this. This is also possible. Rook a3, that's probably queen to b8. Not sure if I want to invest this time with prophylactics on the queen side. Tough to say. I will do it. I'm not sure about this. Queen b8, rook b1, then b3. It looks a little bit, maybe this is too prophylactic. I'm just playing this, basically saying that your structure is bad anyway, so I'm just going to make sure the structure keeps, yeah, stays exactly as it is. But it's slow, and it's not so, yeah, it doesn't have a punch really. Okay, so I can take here and then take d6. Why is that not possible? That would be an interesting question. Why is this not possible? I mean, I'm also fine after bishop e3, but if I take it, probably the knight will take bishop d6. What is the tactic there? Knight d4 maybe. But I'm attacking the rook. So rook d8, or what's the deal? I don't get it. I don't get it. Or is there a tactic based on the loose knight? Takes, knight takes bishop d6. Like at the end, some knight e8 or something is really odd. I don't see it. I just wonder if the time is really ticking down. Okay, come on. Maybe this is chicken chess, yeah, in some way. I couldn't quite see why I couldn't take it. It just looked a little bit loose. It's just like this position is just better for white anyway, so it's kind of in some way a moot point. So not a moot point, but let's say this is pragmatic decision that is it's not totally awful, I think. So he wants to take on a4, right? I'm going to prepare bishop d2 and force some concession by this rook. Yeah, I probably should have taken this. Really? Okay, I'm just very, very cautious here. I don't want a sacrifice on h3 in this time situation. Probably it was not a threat, but this is 3+2. That's important to consider. Oh, I totally blundered that friggin' pawn. Ah, that's awful. Wow, that's really awful. Given that black's position was so bad, I just blundered the pawn. Wow. That's not a good way to start the session. Knight e2, I overlooked knight e2. To d4. Knight c4, I cannot play. Ah, this is really bad. I think it's quite funny is that even though I blundered multiple moves, the position is still not totally clear. Knight c4 is a threat. And even something like rook b1 after a rook trade, I'm also okay if I get to c4. This is probably interesting. This one, and then rook takes. And then I have the check at the end, okay. My idea is knight c4, and if he takes, bishop takes, a5 is, I think, dropping. At the end of the day, he's stuck with those two non-pieces on c7 and h6, and g7, I'm sorry. Does he have a big choice there? I mean, if I get knight c4 in, this is also not great. Okay. Gimme. Gift me the pawn. So he cannot take, I guess. The time is not so nice, yeah, of course, but with increment things are a little bit simpler. You don't have to worry about totally silly time losses. Okay, now I could actually take here and then play a5 at the end. Bishop e7, a5, bishop a6, bishop d8. I'm just too fast, right? Too fast. Yeah, it was a bit weird, this game. I mean, I played badly. I should never have some kind of trouble because Black's position was just pretty awful. But I made my life very difficult with silly decisions and oversights. So bishop d7. Okay, e5 already seems to win the game. Yeah. Yeah. That can happen, e5, if he's absolutely not taking care about e5 at all. I'm a little bit surprised that it is so bad. Yeah, I mean, white is better. That's not really a question, but plus 2 point something is really a lot. That's a lot. So let's say, yeah, this is just not working, right? I can take and rook a7, and black is just getting annihilated. Yeah, okay, e5 already. I'm not playing dynamic chess sometimes. a5 is of course good for white, but not as good. Yeah, and now again I can push e5 and probably kill him. Yeah, as I mentioned, I might play over prophylactically here. I mean, the resulting position, again, e5 is killing him, but the resulting position is definitely good. And I mean, like plus 1 something. So black is kind of stuck in his bad structure. And now I can take. I mean, I didn't see why I couldn't, but it looked a little bit, I don't know. I was a little bit concerned that there could be some kind of tactic on that knight. Well, I couldn't see anything, but like knight d4, I can take b8. I should probably just take it. That was a bit of a scary move, but it's kind of, again, the position is so comfortably better than that I didn't feel so pressed. Yeah, and here there are the sacrifice on c5. I saw that, but with the time getting down, I didn't want to do it. Like, this is interesting because the rook is stuck and I have those mighty pawns. Cannot even play a5 as I just take this. So this was definitely an option, but what I did not see is simply with all my moves here that I was blundering c4. That is just silly. If I take with the rook, I preserve those structural advantages without any problem. Like, this position is eternally better for white because of just the additional space that I have. He's always stuck with weak pawns potentially, and the knight on c7 is also really having a hard time to find a good spot. This is just 1.1. What the engine is saying is kind of adequate. I would actually think it's higher, in particular in practical terms. But I blundered c4, and that was making things, of course, very problematic. Knight d2 still seems to be better for white. Yeah, I panicked here. I only had 20 seconds. And here the position is shaky. f5, yeah, looks good now for black. Yeah, that looks like a very good choice. You have to activate anyway, and probably this is posing me lots of problems. Yeah, now black is activated here. This is weak and so on. That probably would have killed me. I mean, objectively, anyway, yeah, we see that the engine says it's winning, but it's impossible also probably to defend this in a real game. So yeah, now I'm just toast here in this position. Okay, rook b3. Yes, now rook b3 was of course better. Yeah. The point is that he cannot take because of the check and this idea with the mate, rook f8 mate coming. That was a lot better. I didn't see it. I mean, it's not really difficult. It's just like I had absolutely no time, like 20 seconds. And okay, I played this one, and now knight b5 was killing, which is, yeah, it's nice if the engine shows it to you, but it's pretty difficult if you have a blitz game in front of you. But what he did is certainly okay. Yeah, knight d4 is also a large advantage. Bishop d3, a5, and rook c1. Yeah, and now this is not clear. This is not clear at all, as knight c4 is coming. And after knight b3, I have this move rook b1, and indeed I'm already much better, even though I'm a pawn down. Yeah, I mean, that's what I said with the bad structure. The bad structure is if I'm not if I'm not losing the house, this is still counting. Yeah, that this is all weak and the bad pieces. I had one totally silly oversight. Here I can just take this and win. Yeah, the rook is attacked and there is rook b8, bishop h6. During the game, I actually thought that this would be better for me as well, which is probably wrong. I saw this line, but he has this c4 strike. This is nice, yeah. The knight has no squares, but c4 is just good. Yeah, I don't know if I would have spotted that. But yeah, he took it. And now this is just awful for black. I'm surprised. I mean, the engine is not very deep there on 22. I thought it could be higher, because if you drop the a-pawn, it might be that you cannot stop the a-pawn, white's a-pawn, I mean, from promotion, and then the eval could be even higher. Anyway, it's much better for white. And it seems that I didn't make any ridiculous mistakes anymore. Knight b4, yeah, whatever. I mean, I think this is just lost anyway. Yeah, and here just had to spot that the bishop is stopping. Oops, this bishop is stopping both pawns, and this bishop is not coming around to cover a7 in time, so it's winning. Yeah, interesting game. Not clearly not without mistakes on both parts, but interesting. Thanks for watching.